Boy. Hey, this is Phil Lilley. Lilley's Landing Resort and Marine on Lake Taneycomo. Jackson and I are out there doing one cast. I'm not sure who's colder, me or Jack. He's not shaking, so I guess he's not too bad. Today is December 31st, 2023. Last day of the year. They're not running any water. Have not run water all day. And I am, you can kind of see where I'm at. I'm above Fall Creek, below Fall Creek, sorry. And I'm going to be throwing a 1/32 ounce black and olive jig, 2-pound line. The wind is blowing to the north, so it's blowing this way. So I'm going to be throwing kind of with the wind and working it back kind of close to the bottom. Throwing a jig like this in the wind can be pretty tough. If you throw it with the wind, if you can, it's not too bad. Okay, nothing on the first cast. Full disclosure, Darren came out earlier and did one cast. And he was pretty frustrated. He said the fish were rising all over the place, but he couldn't get them to bite. So I thought I'd come out here and see if I could catch one. And I hooked one at least. I think it's a good black jig day. Stalker rainbow. I'm going to try to keep the boat moving a little bit too. Keep that line getting too much slack in it. So it's blowing me across the lake too, so I got to make some adjustments. So I think the water I'm fishing is probably 7 to 8 foot deep. So we took the last of the family to the airport today. Caleb and his family are on their way back to Boston. That's a fish. Did not get a good hook set on him. Had my drag set a little too loose, and now I got it too tight. I'm running this Tecton line, which I'm not a fan. I need to take it off and put my trolling back on. Okay, I got another one of those browns I caught yesterday. Oops. Pretty distinctive. I mean, there's kind of short tail. A little better color in this one. That's another male. They will get a lot prettier as they get older and stay in the lake. They have kind of a chalky look to them. They have been in the lake for several months now. 3. But it's a part of a bunch that they stocked back, I think, in October. Some fish that were a little bigger than normal stocker size. So far, you can pretty much tell the difference. The color and the shape and the size of the fish that were stocked. I got to get back away from this bank a little bit. Michelle, I do have gloves on today. Hope you see that. A friend of mine was asking why I didn't have gloves on in the cold weather. So I usually don't fish with them, but I have fingerless gloves and my fingers get cold. So, tips of my fingers. Oh, I just missed one. Yeah.
I watch your show sometimes.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Cool.
I saw you were filming. I figured that was you.
Yeah. You throwing a jig?
I'm throwing a couple of flies right now because I see them busting the top of the water.
Yeah. Yeah, they're a little hard to catch on top. Do you have any jigs?
What kind of jig?
Like a marabou jig?
Some bigger ones. I probably don't have any smaller ones.
What pound test line do you have?
2.
Let me bring you some jigs.
I've been catching pretty good at night.
All right, we got those guys taken care of. Hopefully, he said that he's been doing really good at night, not so much during the day, so using 2-pound line, he should be able to throw these jigs pretty good. They're staying in the house next to the log cabin, which was owned by Dr. Larry Carey, an old friend of the family's from Parsons, Kansas. He moved here from Parsons. A real good friend of my parents. Dr. Carey got tired of getting flooded out, so he bought a house up on a mountain in Table Rock. Now they rent it out. Someone bought it and it's Airbnb now. The wind's kind of laid down a little bit. Oh, there was a fish. Oh, stuck on my finger. Missed him. There's one. I think I'm trolling a little bit. I can't really tell how fast I'm pushing the boat. Ah, it's another brown. Oh, I can't tell. It might be one of those fish. It is still short and stubby a little bit. Color's better. Real pretty. Browns have come alive. Oh, some other guys, before I turned the camera on, 3 guys, I think they're staying, or maybe they keep their boat at Fall Creek. So they had their limit of night crawlers. They were going in, watch the Chiefs game. They had a guy with that was a Steelers fan in the boat, kind of giving him a hard time. That's a little rainbow. Ah, missed one. So they're biting pretty good. I didn't ask what Darren. Oh yeah, he said he threw a midge. Not sure what else he threw. You just never know. I mean, fishing these fish, they turn on and off all the time. You never know. I know we get frustrated sometimes because they don't bite. I kind of feel like it's my fault most of the time. I can't find what they're eating, but sometimes the fact is they just don't, they're just not eating. This makes up for all the days I went out and didn't get a bite. That last rainbow I caught was a pretty fish. The others are like this. They don't have a lot of color. Hadn't been in the lake very long. But they'll get their color after a while. Ah! Ah! I can get a bite just about every cast. Yeah. Little one. Hmm. You can see I'm kind of getting out of where the wind is blowing. Still blowing a little bit, but not as much. And up there I got pretty flat water. Down here I got more wind. So as I move down lake, I'm moving out of the wind. Like I said, it doesn't make any difference, huh? Ooh, fatty. That guy has learned the system right there. He has figured it out. I'm pretty much in my flat water now. There's no wind. And I got a feeling I might get a few less bites. We'll see. Maybe not. It's a lot warmer without that wind. Actually, it's not that bad. Another brown. 3 browns. Oh. He's wrapped. I'm trying to get it. Now this is a pretty brown. Look at the colors on him. Pretty pretty. And I quit. I don't want to quit. That was a pretty fish. closer to the channel. I do a couple more casts. I really do think the wind, at least in this case, helped the bite. One more. Okay. It's kind of hard to argue success when you're in a choppy water like that, and then you move out and your cast to bite ratio drops a bunch. That was fun. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next year. Okay, I pulled up here on what I would call Darren's Flats, just below Short Creek. Got my chop back, got some wind back, and I'm just maybe gonna either prove or disprove my point, saying that the fish are gonna bite better where there's wind like this than where it's flat water. They're pretty similar conditions. Water's not real deep through here, 4 or 5 foot, about the same as where I was fishing. Cast a few times, see if they're still biting. They might not be. The wind is kind of a different direction. Not it's blowing the same direction, but I've come around a bend from where I was fishing before. Of course, this lake is more of a river where it makes a bunch of bends. So I say you can get out of the wind on this lake a lot easier than a normal lake because it winds back and forth and you can get somewhere where the wind's not blowing straight down the river. Like here, the lake kind of goes east and west and the wind's out of the north, so. Not a lot of wind here, though. There's one. Little one. This is what I call maybe a silver bullet. We get these in the wintertime. He's real pretty, got all of his fins. He's only about maybe 9 inches long. But we get a lot of fish in the winter from the Neosho hatchery out in Neosho, Missouri, and it's a federal hatchery. And they give us a different strain of rainbow. Typically, they're a little smaller than the shepherd or the state fish. And they're usually really shiny with not as many spots. That's why we call them the silver bullets. And they do grow up to be some really, I just missed one, pretty awesome fish. But because they're a different strain, they will look different even when they get bigger. A couple more casts. I've actually lost my chop right here. Oh, I missed him. Oh, I missed him again. He hit, and I should have set the hook, and I didn't. Got it though again. I think the wind's pushing me a little bit. And moving some. Up. Might have been a fish too. I am not quitting on that. Ah! It's not exactly where I wanted to cast it. I'm kind of breaking my own rule. I'm throwing with or against the wind. Oh, I just had another bite. That's better. All right. Bite or no bite, this has got to be the last cast. Probably just about out of battery. Huh. Well, didn't end it. I didn't end it on a miss. So, thanks for watching again. We'll be back out here to do it tomorrow for you and every day next year. Happy New Year, everybody.